What up YouTube, I'm back. So it was a really good Boruto Naruto Next Generation episode. There's a lot to dissect, especially something about the Divine Tree, some things that came back from the Naruto Shippuden series. So there's a lot to dissect, man. It was a really good episode. I really liked the fighting, the choreography, it was great. But the first thing that I think we need to talk about is the Divine Tree, because obviously it was a big part of the previous series, Naruto Shippuden, especially at the end with Kaguya and everything. And we know that the Divine Tree was used to do two things. One of the things I think was to create the ultimate Tsukuyomi. Obito basically wanted that to happen. And then the other thing is bearing the fruit that gave Kaguya basically her power, the chakra fruit. So I thought it was pretty interesting that it came back in the Boruto Naruto Next Generation series, and it was basically a less powerful version of that tree, so I thought it was pretty interesting that it was there. It did the same thing that it did in Naruto Shippuden, where it took people's chakra and it also took them inside a cocoon. I don't know if they were in a genjutsu like in Shippuden, but I thought it was cool that it basically did the same things that it did in the previous series. One of the reasons why this week's episode was so good was because of the fighting and the animation, because it was great for the whole episode. We got to see Konohamaru fight against the old man. Even though he couldn't really use one of his arms, he was fighting the old man, and I was kind of surprised that the old man was able to keep up. One of the things that he was doing is he could use basically every chakra nature, lightning, earth, wind, water, fire. He could use all of them, and like Konohamaru said in the episode, the only person that he saw could use all those chakra natures was his grandfather, the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. So I thought it was pretty interesting that this old dude could do the same thing. We don't know a lot about him personally, but I'm wondering if maybe he did some experiment on his body so that he could use all of these jutsus and chakra natures. We also learned that he had a jutsu that could regenerate part of his body, which is impressive because Orochimaru can do basically the same thing. And talking about Orochimaru, he was actually there fighting against the old man, kind of helping Konohamaru, which is ironic because we all know that Konohamaru is the grandson of the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, and Orochimaru is one of the pupils of Hiruzen, so I thought it was pretty ironic that they were kind of teaming up against the old man, so I thought that was a great moment for them both, because they're basically quote-unquote family, even though they're not related by blood. I think another thing that we learned is that the Hashirama cells that the old man stole from Orochimaru is basically a part of the Divine Tree that appeared in the Naruto Shippuden series in the 4th Great Ninja War. So I thought I was not expecting that, that it was going to be part of the real Divine Tree that we saw in the previous series, so I'm pretty impressed that they bring back, some of the things from the previous series into the Boruto Naruto Next Generation series, so I really like that a lot. Obviously, the reason why he wanted the Divine Tree to bloom is because of the fruit that is in it, the chakra fruit that basically created this world, by Kaguya eating it. And I think he wanted to eat that fruit, to become more powerful, basically. But we all know that this Divine Tree that we saw in this series is not the real one that we saw in the Naruto Shippuden series. There's a lot of things that need to be done so that this Divine Tree appears, and one of the things is I think they need the 10 tails, so I don't think they've got that. They tried an experiment to recreate the Divine Tree, and that's not something that they can really do, and because of that he was absorbed by this fake Divine Tree and killed, basically, I think. So I thought that was really well done. You just can't create a divine tree like that with experiments, so I thought it was really, really well done. Anyway, let's talk about the Boruto Sarada versus Deepa battle because it was amazing, man. From the beginning scene of the episode where I saw the animation was different, for the fight, I thought it was gonna be amazing, and it was Naruto-esque animation, man, from the beginning. It was amazing just seeing Boruto and Sarada going at it against Deepa. I thought was great, just seeing Boruto use his shadow clone, seeing Sarada kind of adapt and dodging Deepa's attack, I thought it was really well done. The choreography of the fight was great. Later in that fight, Mitsuki arrived and basically saved Boruto from one of Deepa's attack, and we already knew that the guy in the mask, the little guy in the mask with Orochimaru, was going to be Mitsuki, so I wasn't surprised at all, but he actually saved Boruto from an attack. And then we saw Team 7 in action versus Deepa, Like I said, the animation was amazing. Just seeing Mitsuki use his lightning jutsus and his wind jutsus, I thought was amazing because Mitsuki is one of the best characters in the series in my opinion, and he's pretty strong for his age, so I thought it was pretty great that he came in. And then we saw Team 7 in action versus Deepa, because he's a really, really strong character, I don't know what kind of jutsu he uses. I think maybe iron or something stronger, than iron. I don't know what it is, but he's really, really, really strong. He's one of the strongest characters that we've seen in the Boruto anime so far, and I think the reason for that is because he's part of the Kara organization or something like that. So maybe that's why he's that strong. Maybe the other members are even stronger than that, so that's gonna be great to see. But yeah, man, he was something else. At some point in the fight, one of Deepa's attack was gonna land on Boruto, but while this was happening, I really thought that Boruto's eyes were doing something that we saw before, one of his special eyes, the Jugen, I think maybe it's called, or maybe it's something else, so let me know in the comments down below. But I really thought it was doing something, but I think it was only the light of the attack, so I was kind of bummed. But yeah, man, hopefully we'll see more of that, his eye in the next few episodes, because it's something that we really don't know about yet. The person that actually saved Boruto was Sarada, so that's the second time in the episode where he was saved from one of Deepa's attack. The first time was Mitsuki, and the second time was Sarada, and she was actually able to unlock or upgrade her Sharingan, by adding a second Tomoe. So I thought that was pretty cool because obviously we saw the difference in the Naruto vs Sasuke fight part 1. We saw how when Sasuke upgraded his Sharingan and had a third Tomoe, how he could see Naruto's movement even though he was using Nine-Tails chakra, so I thought that her unlocking a second Tomoe for her Sharingan was pretty great. And like I said, the animation and fight choreography was amazing, and Sarada was a big part of it. There was a lot of things that she did in this week's episode that was amazing. Just her dodging Deepa's attack and using her kunai to deflect others, I thought was great. Seeing her use fireball jutsu and everything, man. I really like Sarada's character and the array of attacks that she can have. She used her powerful punch against Deepa, which I thought the animation on that was amazing. So there's a lot of things that she did in this week's episode, and hopefully her character stays like that because I think she can become really, really strong. But anyhow, later in the episode, we saw how Deepa covered his body with his whole armor, because of what Boruto did with his pressured Rasengan, which I still don't know how I feel about this attack because it's kind of weird, man. It feels like it's a filler jutsu that we won't see again for a long time, but Yeah, man, it was still great. It was great animation for that attack, even though it wasn't strong enough to destroy him. Then we saw Sarada, Mitsuki, and Boruto combine their forces to destroy Deepa's armor and defeat him. And it was pretty well done, you know. It seems like for the first time they saw Mitsuki in his Sage mode, which I thought was pretty interesting. You know, I didn't think that Mitsuki would do that, but he actually did. And then, you know, they all combined to basically defeat Deepa, you know. And it seems like his body was cracking, so maybe he's made of some stuff, of something else. You know, I don't know what he's made of, but he was actually destroyed. He also wanted the divine tree, the fruit inside the divine tree, you know, so he couldn't anymore because of what Orochimaru did to the fake divine tree. He actually destroyed it. But yeah, man, he was killed at the end. Basically, he was Obitoed, you know, he was crushed by a rock. But yeah, man, this whole episode was heat, no cap, because it was even better than I thought it would be. I knew that there was gonna be something on this episode, particularly because of the rumor that I saw on Twitter. But it was even better, man. The animation, the fighting choreography, everything about this episode was great. But yeah, man, let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below, and let me know what you think is gonna happen next. One of the things that I want to talk about before I end this video is something that is coming this December for the Boruto Naruto Next Generation anime. Obviously, a lot of y'all probably already know because the news came out earlier this week, but it seems like the anime is adapting the AO arc from the manga, you know, and it's actually the only arc of the manga that I actually read, you know. I don't think I finished this arc, but I started it, and it seems like it's going to be a really good arc, and I can't wait for it to get adapted for the Boruto anime, you know, because that's something that I've been waiting for the manga to be adapted in the anime. Obviously, they can't really do it a lot because the manga is only coming out 1 month at a time, so they can't really do that in the anime. But yeah, man, I can't wait for this arc because that's where it all starts, basically, you know. So I just can't wait. I think it's coming on the 4th of December or something like that, so I can't wait. There's gonna be a new opening and ending for this, so I can't wait for that either, even though I really like the opening that we have right now. But yeah, man, I really can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. They're actually adapting something from the manga again. Obviously, we saw they adapted a part of the story in the manga a few weeks ago, you know, with the bandits. But yeah, man, that's gonna be great, and I can't wait. So yeah, man, I do both on Naruto Next Generation reviews on Sundays, so subscribe for that. But I also do Jujutsu Kaisen reviews on Fridays and One Piece reviews on Saturdays, so stay tuned for all of that. There's also the Attack on Titan final season coming to my channel in December, so stay tuned. And then in January, there's Dr. Stone and the Promised Neverland coming back. So yeah, man, it's gonna be fun on my channel, and I can't wait to review all of this, you know. But yeah, man, like, comment, subscribe, it would help my channel a lot. And follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, man. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.